Great morning, great morning, great morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It's Friday, and I'm working from the bed, not from home. Oh my goodness. Listen, you guys. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna give you guys a chance to come on. I want to talk to you guys. So come on in, come on in. Hey, Artesia, how are you, beautiful? Y'all come on in, come on in. Let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Hey, Alita, good to see you. Let me know who's here, who's here. Hey, Eileen, love you, boo. Girl, Aquia, I still need some more rest. That's why I'm working from the bed. Not from home, but from the bed. Listen, I am super excited. Hey, Jaquetta, how are you? Yes, Atlanta's in the house. So, you guys, today's live is just be grown. Just be grown. So let me tell you what prompted this live. A lot of times, as people, we find ourselves in positions where we have to face things that are difficult things to face. Difficult things to face are just difficult things to face. They just are. So I've been dealing with something, and I needed to have a conversation. See, I'm a firm believer that having conversations makes a difference. And so I needed to have a conversation. But to be honest with you, there were emotions attached to it, and I was in my emotions and my feelings, and I had to get myself together to be able to have a conversation. One of the things I tell you guys is you can't let your emotions rule you, right? Because our emotions will have us making irrational decisions that take us off course and out of pocket. So it's not that you can't have emotions, but you can't just make emotional decisions, because emotional decisions will take you out of pocket. So I had to have a conversation. I needed to have a conversation. And I know me. Y'all know how you know yourself. Y'all, like, you, right? You know that there are things that trigger you. You know that there are things that cause old things to arise in you. You know that there are things that, push your gangster out, right? And so I know that one of the things that I'm just talking about me, I'm not talking about y'all, but one of the things that I have to deal with is pride. If I feel like someone has tested or tried my character or my integrity, when I know where I'm coming from, or something like that happens, I can feel some type of way. And when I start to feel some type of way, being the Leo that I am, like, I can respond a certain type of way. Like, I will be like, I don't F with you. And I don't mean fool. Like, I don't F with you, right? And so today I had to really, 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 really dial in to why I was feeling the way I was feeling. You all, listen, you got to get honest with yourself about some things that you've experienced in your life that still affect you in a certain way. You got to get honest with yourself about how you deal with certain things, feel about certain things, what they trigger in you. And I can remember, and this is a very vivid memory, so this tells you how deeply it's rooted. I can remember being a senior in high school, and I was getting ready for the prom, and a guy that I really liked was coming in town to take me to the prom, and we needed a car for the prom. And so my dad was going to talk to my grandfather about my grandfather letting us use the car. So he said that he talked to him. And I said, well, Dad, what do we need to do to get the car? And he said, what do you mean? What do we need to do? So I interpreted that, what do you mean? What do we need to do? As it was my responsibility, our responsibility to figure that out. That's how I interpret it. So I told the guy that, he made sure he went, he got the car and everything. And I remember my dad coming to see me because I didn't live with him. I lived with my grandmother, but my grandmother had just died a few weeks before my prom. And I remember my dad showing up and he accused me of being a liar. And I knew that I didn't lie. And he said, "What kind of lie did you tell this time?" And I felt some type of way about that because I didn't lie. I did what I thought I was supposed to do in order to fix the situation. And now I was hot. I was mad because I knew I didn't lie. And I felt some type of way about him calling me a liar. And I remember being so angry because I was living with my aunt. My aunt lived in the house that my grandmother raised me in. And so I just stayed with her. I'm 17 years old. Um, and essentially, like, I don't live with my parents. So it triggered something in me. And I was so mad. And I began to cuss. And my aunt was like, you need to calm down, stop all that cussing. And I was going off because I felt like, how are you going to call me a liar when all I did was what I thought I needed to do? Before you call me a liar, you get clarity on the situation. Don't just out the gate assume that I'm lying. And so as I'm dealing with this situation, it was reminiscent of that. Because I felt like my character was being tested and tried, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I like to deal with things in a grown way. And so for me, when I have issues, I like to go to people and have a conversation. Now, how long the conversation is going to last, that's it just depends. But I like to at least have a conversation. I believe conversations and communication is key. And so I know I can be prideful and I can allow my pride to get in the way. So I have to watch it. I have to be careful. I have to check myself. I have to make sure that my pride is not interfering with, because I'm telling you, as a Leo, like, when we feel like, we've gone hard for people, or we've supported people or whatever, and then we feel like they did some shade or something was off. Like, I know me, and I know I can go into that place where I'm like, feel like I'm backed up in a corner. And when I feel like I'm backed up in a corner, I feel like I got to fight my way out. And you don't want that fight, right? Because I'm like trying to dice everything up, but I'll do it to my detriment. I just recently did an interview with my ex-boyfriend, and not one of my ex-husbands. I don't have 5 ex-husbands, not one of my ex-husbands, my ex-boyfriend, right? We were talking about relationships. It's going to air on Sunday on iHeartRadio. You guys, on my page, I've got the link for the interview. You don't want to miss it because it's fire. I promise you it's fire. We're spilling all the tea. Like, people are like, you said that on the listen, it's the truth. So one of the things you're going to get from me is truth and honesty and authenticity, because that's the only way I know how to be. Yeah, you're right, Jaquetta. It feels like a betrayal, right? And so, I was having a conversation with him, and we were talking about our relationship. And I'm not going to go into all the details. You gotta listen to it. But I talked about a situation where I felt so betrayed in our relationship, and I'm telling you, that's like, it's not good. It is not good. And so I felt so betrayed. It resulted in, he said, an attempted castration. He said something like an attempted castration. I for real was trying to make sure he never had kids in his life. Like, don't try me. Okay. But beyond that, as we were having the conversation, I talked about how a series of betrayals led me to be in a place where, when he finally got to the point where he wanted to do right and he wanted to get it together, and he even came and proposed to me, I was like, nah, I'm with somebody. And the truth of the matter is, and I know someone asked me about this, but listen, I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. And if it hurts or hurts anyone that I've been in a relationship with, I'm sorry for that, but it's my truth, right? The truth of the matter is that I still, I still loved him. I still wanted to be with him, but my pride wouldn't let me. My pride said, nigga, you cheated on me too many times. Nigga, what you think? No, don't come over here with that. Now you want to act right now. Nigga, get out of my face with that. I'm not fooling with you. I don't F with you. Not fool. Put the real cuss word in there. And that's a real thing, you guys. It's a real thing that we can allow our pride to get in the way of us being grown, having grown conversations, acknowledging our wrong, admitting to the fact that, you know, we played a part in it, you know, acknowledging that we still love and care about someone, you know, like that was serious. I wonder today what my life would have been like had I gotten my pride out of the way. And when he came to me with the ring and he came to me with his heart open, that I had responded differently, you know? But the reality is we can never go back and change anything that's transpired in our life. But what we can do, and this is what I want y'all to hear, what we can do is be grown, have grown folk conversations, you know, acknowledge what we feel, make decisions about what we're willing to do, and not destroy relationships that God can send to be a blessing, but we end up missing out on them because our pride got in the way. Now, maybe pride is not the thing that gets in the way for you. Maybe it's something else, but be grown. Just be grown. Have the conversations that you need to have. Deal with the stuff that you need to deal with. It was only in our interview, I had some real epiphanies in that interview. And I think he did too. Like we really grew. Like we knew we had grown from things that had happened in our relationship and from our conversations with each other, but it took it to a whole nother level. Like we literally uncovered and unearthed some stuff. And it's important that you do that. See, that's what being grown is. Being grown is not acting like things haven't affected you. It's not acting like you don't have things that you're still dealing with. Being grown means looking at that stuff, looking at yourself in the mirror and dealing with it. Being able to acknowledge that you were hurt. Listen, y'all, I can be just as gangster as the best of them. And there's a gangster side of me that does come out. I told you guys that I have some strong masculine energy. That's the Leo in me. That is how I'm wired. And so I really have to watch myself because I will get into a place where, and this is when you know how deep it is. I remember being in high school and I remember this boy stole my sweats. They were laying on the floor in the gym. I went to get them. They were gone. He wore them to school. On the school bus with me. He had my sweats on that I had been looking for on his body, and then had the nerve, the gall, and the audacity to tell me they were not his. You lying that they were not mine. You lying. Those are mine. I know they're mine. No, these aren't yours. I will fight you. Listen to me. I will fight. And that's what I will fight you. No, those are mine. Give me my stuff. So I got into a fight with the boy. I didn't win the fight, but I did get into a fight with him. For real. I was I punched him. Like I was not playing with him. And see, this is what I'm saying. Now I knew I couldn't beat him. Here he was. First of all, he was a whole man. Second of all, listen, I wasn't really no fighter. So everything was working against me. But I fought him. I was like, I will fight you. Because what I needed him to understand was, I don't care that you're a boy. I don't care that you're bigger than me. I don't care that you're stronger than me. What you're not going to do is disrespect me. What you're not going to do is steal my stuff and wear it in my face and think I'm not going to say nothing to you. That's what you're not going to do. To this day, that's in me. To this day, it's some stuff that you're not going to do with me. You're just not going to do that and think I'm not going to say nothing. You know, the beautiful thing is, and this is why I'm so grateful for God. This is why I'm so grateful for God. But yet Dr. V will fight. Y'all, I'm trying to tell you, so people don't understand, there's another side to me. It's a whole nother side. And when I tell my stories of things that happened as I was growing up and things that happened in relationships and stuff, like people are like, you did what? Yeah, I did. I pulled a knife out. Look, I will kill you. Who are you playing with? Don't play with me. And meant it to the point where I was like, I'll go to prison, have a whole prison ministry and in the prison and a whole girlfriend protecting me. I don't care. I'm about this life. So when I tell these stories, people are like, not you, Dr. V, but Dr. V, you're so sweet. I am. And that's the problem. Because I'm so sweet, because I'm so giving, because I'm so compassionate. When you do something otherwise to me, and I've been nothing but that to you, you trigger something in me. And you might get a different kind of response than what you're expecting. So I had to learn how to disengage without fighting. I had to learn how to just be grown and have a conversation when I really wanted to kick somebody in the throat, not chop them, kick them, high kick. Okay. One leg and then the other. Now I know y'all may say, Dr. V, you violent. There is a part of me that is aggressive, and there's aggression there, and there is anger there, and that's why I had to learn how to deal with that stuff. I had to learn not to be in relationships where I felt like I had to be violent. Like if the relationship put me in a place where I felt like I needed to go to my violent place, I needed to exit that relationship because I never wanted to be in that place again. But believe me, I've been there. Believe me, I've like for real could have gone to jail, could have gone to prison, could have killed someone for real. And so I had to learn how to be grown and have the conversation and extricate myself from situations that had the potential for me to choose violence. But it is that same energy that allows me to push through obstacles. So I never want to kill the energy, but I want to control how it shows up. And that's where being grown comes in. You got to be grown enough to acknowledge who you are, where you are, how things are affecting you. And then to choose to communicate versus lay hands. And that can be challenging. Choose to communicate versus just make irrational emotional decisions. And I know when I'm there because that level of anger, I shake when I'm at that level of anger. Like my body begins to shake. Like it's a visceral physical reaction that occurs. And you got to choose not to let it take over you. And so that may mean that you have to, breathe, meditate, walk away. You may have to do something, box, Jaquetta, to release that negative energy. Watch boxing or wrestling or see, this is why growing up, my grandfather introduced me to wrestling. You couldn't tell me wrestling wasn't real. You couldn't tell me it wasn't. Like I loved watching wrestling because what it allowed me to do, it allowed me to vicariously allow that aggression to come out. Because as women, we are not allowed to really exercise aggression. Like we're not supposed to be aggressive. We're supposed to be soft and cuddly and sensitive and all of those things. But you know that those things are in you. And especially when you have certain personality types, but anyone can be pushed to that point where you find yourself, when you find yourself in the place where you like, oh my God, I can't do this, right? So the beauty is, and this is the beauty is that today I can be grown. I can be grown. And I can allow myself to feel what I feel, acknowledge what I feel, face what I feel, and still not allow it to control me. What are your triggers? What are the things that trigger you, that take you back to that space where you're a little girl or a little boy and you feel like you have no control over what's going on in your life? Where adults are making decisions that are affecting you and you can't do anything about it. What are the things that trigger that anger from your childhood or your past? Yeah, Jaquetta, it's enraged. See, this is the space, and this is why I tell people, don't play with people's emotions. That's why I don't like games. This is why this space that I'm in right now, like the dating space is a hard space for me because I don't like games. I don't like playing games. I don't like people lying. I don't like any of that. I'm going to be upfront. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you, I've been married 5 times. I got 7 kids. I got 7 grandkids. Listen, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I need. This is what I can't handle. You know, I'm not willing to deal with this. I'm going to tell you all of that. So I don't play games with people, and I don't like when people play games with me. It's hard. Because what I discovered and what I've realized is people play a lot of games and people do a lot of pretend, and they have these fake social media dating profiles that, you know, are not real. See, one thing about me, the Dr. V you see today is the Dr. V you're going to see tomorrow. I'm consistent. And those people who have followed me for an extended period of time know that I'm consistent. I'm flawed, but I'm consistent. I'll never tell you I'm perfect because I'm not. But if I mess up, I will say I messed up. If I did it, I will say I did it. And if I tell you that I didn't do it, I didn't do it. So you ain't got to try to figure out. See, I'm not the one that's going to hold on to the lie until, you know, I'm just caught up in it and I can't do anything else. I'm not that person. I'm not that person. I'm going to tell the truth. Yeah, I did it. And it doesn't matter. If it cost me, it cost me. But I'm going to tell the truth. So for me, the whole thought of dating, having to learn someone, having to try to figure out if they're lying or if they're telling the truth, having to figure out, you know, all of that stuff like that, that's a lot to me. That's a lot to me because I know who I am and where I am, but I also understand that everyone is not me. Everyone doesn't operate from the place of not playing games. I'm going to tell you exactly where I am in my process. I'm going to be honest about all that. Like, you're not going to have to guess. You're not going to have to wonder, you know, that's me. But for that reason, I know that it's going to take a special kind of man to be able to deal with me and handle me. I mean, you're not going to mishandle me. You're not going to be talking to me crazy. You're not just going to be telling me what to do. You're just not going to do that. I'm not with that. And that's a part of being grown too. You need to be grown enough to know what your absolute things are. I was having a conversation with my nephew and he was telling me I was petty because height is an issue for me. Height is an issue for me. I'm not dating a man who's shorter than me. I'm not doing that. I'm not dating a man that's shorter than me when I put my heels on. I'm not doing that. And he said, Auntie, but that's petty. You can call it what you want to, but this is me. This is my life. I know what I want. I know what I want in my life. And to you, it can be surface and it can seem superficial, but it is a must for me that he be taller than me when I put my heels on, or we about the same height. It cannot be that I'm taller than him and I feel like I got to lean down to kiss. If I got to lean down to kiss you, ain't no kissing happening. If you come to my chest, we can't do nothing. If you right here, it's out. It's out. So I know that about me. Now for him, he felt like it was superficial and petty. That's because he's shorter than me. And he probably has experienced it. He probably has experienced women counting him out because he was shorter than them. He probably has. And I get it. And I'm not saying that it's not okay that there aren't women who like that. It's just not me. I'm not that person. And I'm not going to apologize for that. And that's what I told him. You're not going to make me feel bad for that. This is what I want. I know what I want. I know what I need. You decide what you want and you need. And I'm not going to argue with you on that. I'm not going to tell you that, you know, if you like big girls, that, you know, that's wrong. Or if you like women that are certain size, that's wrong. Or if you're drawn to a particular complexion, that's wrong. We're drawn to what we're drawn to for whatever reason we're drawn to it. I'm going to tell you why I know for a fact that I'm drawn to men who are taller than me and who are bigger than me. I know this to be the case, and it's becoming more evident to me. I didn't realize it before, but now I realize it. Because I need a man who can make me feel safe, who can make me feel dainty, and who can make me feel feminine. And a man being bigger than me, like, allows me the space to just be a woman, because I'm a boss most of the time. I'm a go-getter. I'm a make it happen. I need a man who allows me and puts me in a mindset and a frame where I can just defer. I can just defer to him. I can just relax in his arms and he can just hold me, and he's bigger than me. Not you littler than me trying to hold me. What kind of men? No, no, no. I'm not doing that. That's not for me, right? So that's important for me. Why? Because when I was growing up, I did not feel safe and I did not feel protected by my dad. So, like the one, this is not where this was supposed to go. The man that I felt like that with was my grandfather. And he died when I was in high school. So I felt like, in many ways, I was out there alone, that I was abandoned, you know? And so my granddaddy was, he wasn't a super tall man, but he was he was a big man, and I felt safe with him. Feeling safe is important for me. Now, it may not be as important for every woman, but it is very important for me. I've got to feel safe with you. I've got to feel safe that you're going to protect me. I got to feel safe that you're going to protect my emotions and my feelings and my thoughts and my fears and my desires. Like, you're not going to throw me out there. Like, I got to feel safe. If I don't feel safe, you will never have full access to me. So let's circle back to the interview. For the first time in that relationship, I felt safe enough to fully expose my emotions. And he didn't protect me. His cheating was not protecting me. And I felt violated. But you got to listen to the interview to get all the details. But that was real for me. And the truth of the matter is, if I'm being honest, well, y'all have to listen to the interview to hear the truth of the matter. Anyway, so just be grown. Have the difficult conversations. Even if it means that you got to put your pride on the shelf. Do it. Particularly if you value the relationship. Now, the thing about me is I can have old relationships that, like, they don't mean enough to me for me to be willing to go through a whole lot for them. And I can have new relationships that mean enough to me for me to go through that. But at the end of the day, just be grown. Just be grown. All right, you guys, listen. Know this. You got to have some people in your life, at least one person in your life that you can feel safe with. And if you don't have that, you need to find that, because we all need a safe space, a safe place where we can allow ourselves to be fully us. I'm a little different from a lot of people. I share a lot on social media, and everybody can't handle that. And not even every man can handle being in a relationship with a woman who's that open and that exposed, because they're not that, and I get that. But there's a reason that I am the way I am on here, because I have an assignment, and that assignment is to help people go through processes and things that are very difficult. And the way that God has challenged me to do it is by being very open, by being very authentic, by exposing me. Now, can people use this against me? They absolutely can. They can say Dr. V a punk, Dr. V too sensitive. They can say all of those things. But that doesn't change who I am. I know when I need to be gangster, I'm gangster. And you can't beat my gangster on the real tip, male or female, right? But I don't always want to be gangster, and I don't always have to be gangster. And so that's the thing that I want you guys to understand. When I'm going for a goal, my gangster arises. But even in that, like, I care about people. I care about people. And sometimes I think it doesn't seem like that to people. Sometimes I think people think that I'm just about what I'm doing or what I'm trying to accomplish. And I get that, because I'm very singular in my focus. Like, if I'm focused and honed in on something, I can get singular in that. Like, I'm like, no, this is happening. Like, this got to happen. I got to make it happen. And that's because I've always had to make it happen for myself. Think about it. I've been on my own since I was 17 years old. I've taken care of myself since I was 17 years old. I went to college, and it was me figuring it out, working it out on my own. So I've always had to figure it out on my own. And so because of that, I'm very independent in nature. And so I'm going to figure it out. I don't need necessarily someone not helping me figure it out is not going to stop me from figuring it out. In other words, that's what I'm saying. So like in that way, I show up sometimes, like men show up. I show up in boss mode and boss status. Don't get it twisted. I'm very woman. I'm very much feminine. And I love when I can just allow my feminine energy to rule and reign. There's nothing more exhilarating to me than to me just to be able to be a woman, to just fall back into the arms of a man that I can trust, and know that he's got me, even if it's just, for that moment, just to be able to be in that space for that moment. And then I got to get back up and do it again and be a boss again. But you need those moments. You need that safe space that you can fall into, that space where you can just be a woman. Women, I'm telling you, if you've been out here operating solely in your masculine energy, making everything happen, figuring everything out, then you're very skewed. You're going to be very skewed. You're very skewed in how you view the world, and you're going to be very skewed in how you view men and relationships. And so what I'm telling you is we need a space where our feminine energy can show up. Yeah, Rose, the takeover spirit. Yeah. But when you feel like it's not happening, no one's doing it, it's not getting done, you like, ain't nobody going to fix this? Don't nobody else see this? And there are times when it's necessary, but there's times when you got to let it be what it is. You got to let things fall apart so the people who are supposed to pick them up can. I'm just saying, don't feel like you got to always be operating in that masculine energy. Know that the feminine you can show up. So today, be grown. Have those grown folk conversations. Be real, be honest. Y'all, if I can say anything and you guys walk away with anything, be honest. Be honest in your relationships and in your communication with one another. Like if there's something that is bothering you, be honest about it. Because what happens when you're not honest about it is that thing gets bottled up and it comes out in other ways. Just be honest. You can only hide that you feel some type of way for so long. Be honest. Have the difficult conversation. Say, I felt hurt when you. I know I'm gangster. I don't want nobody to know that they did something and I felt hurt by what they did, right? But sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes you got to have those conversations so that you can process through it and get on the other side of it and you don't move out of emotion. Be grown. Today, make the decision that you're going to be grown. Even if it means that you got to have a difficult conversation that may cost you a relationship, be grown. It's better to lose the relationship now than to allow it to something to fester inside of you until you explode and then it's lost and it's ugly. Sometimes you just have to exit. And look, Corey wrote a whole book on here. She said, before I met my husband 20 years ago, I felt like you do about dating, but I let go and let God. He has the perfect man for you. You can't pick him. God does. When a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing, but it is God who sends him a good one, that is. So just prepare to receive him. He's on the way with the crown in his hand for you, queen. I receive that. I receive that. Y'all listen, I love you guys and I want you to win and I want you to win big. That's why partnership matters. Who you're connected to matters. I did a video live yesterday and I said, I'm looking for someone, right? I said, I'm looking for someone. And I was talking about what I'm doing and what I'm building and what I'm creating. See, I believe in creating things that last. I believe in creating things that allow people to grow and to bloom and to prosper. I believe in that. And I was saying that I'm looking for someone, but I'm not looking for anyone. I'm looking for someone, but I'm not looking for just anyone. And I think sometimes we do that anyone thing. We allow anyone to occupy the space until someone shows up. And I want to encourage you, wherever you find yourself, whether you're dealing with business or you're dealing with coaching or you're dealing with family, you're dealing with relationships, friendships, whatever it is, be sure that you are thinking about what you need in the relationship. See, sometimes people will be focused on what they need from you, but they're not concerned about what you need for them. And that's a big thing. That's important. So when I do my breakthrough strategy sessions and stuff, and people will tell you, I'm very upfront with people about who I am, what I do, what I can offer, and what it costs, you know? And I'm upfront with people because people need to understand what they're going to get from you so that there's no confusion, right? And then you alleviate all that. And sometimes it's too much for people. They're like, I can't make that commitment right now. And I get it. And I'm okay with that, right? It doesn't change our relationship. It doesn't mean we can't be friends. Doesn't mean we can't be cool. Doesn't mean we can't do other business together. It doesn't mean that. It just means that we just can't do that together right then. But I'm really looking for those people who want to change their life. Like, you know that you can be great. You know that there's greatness in you. You know that you're great, but you haven't executed it. Those are the people that I choose to work with. And I know that sounds kind of funny because, you know, and that doesn't always come in the people who don't have money. Like, there are people who have money who like know they're great, but they haven't been able to execute. Like, they just haven't been able to execute on the level that, and I know I get it because I was there. Like, I know what it's like to be there and to feel stuck and not be able to get on the other side of it. And you have to find someone who can not only relate, but who can help pull you out of that, because what you need is inside of you, but somebody got to show you where it's at. Somebody got to show you how to access it. Someone's got to show you how to apply it, how to use it to move you to that next place. And that's what I specialize in. But I had to do it for me too. Like, I had to do it for me. So if that's you, or you want to just explore, sign up for my free breakthrough strategy session. You know, sign up. You go to getbalancedwithdrv.com, getbalancedwithdrv.com. I'm going to put it in the comments so that you guys can see it. Go there. Go schedule your session and do it with an open mind. And listen, I'm not going to be offended if you don't work with me. Know that. I'm not going to be offended by that. But I know this. I know that there are those of you that are on here that are called to work with me in some way. There's something that you're supposed to be with, you're supposed to do with me. That's why you keep showing up. That's why you keep ending up in my presence, on my lives. That's why that's happening. And we got to figure out what that is, but we'll never figure it out if you're afraid to ever have a conversation with me. Don't be afraid to have the conversation. You know, don't be afraid. Well, I can't afford it, so I'm not going to even waste her time. No, get what it is that, you know, I need to give you from that free strategy session. And then let's talk. Thank you, Kimberly. Kimberly said, y'all, the breakthrough session is phenomenal. I really do specialize in giving you things that you can walk away and implement in your life right now to create change. And it's not going to be the exact same thing for everyone. This is not cookie cutter. When I tell y'all that I take it seriously, I take it seriously, but I also know that I am gifted and anointed to do it. Like, I'm gifted, and I did a session with a couple of business owners yesterday, and God was giving me gems for them. Like, I was like, okay, y'all, I'm getting ready to get this to y'all. I just need y'all to know this is gold. This is gold. They were like, oh my God, that's so good. I said, hey, just remember me. Just remember me. And whether we end up working together or not, that's irrelevant, because this is my commitment. When you schedule a breakthrough strategy session with me, you're going to get a breakthrough. You're going to walk away from that session different than you came. And maybe it's not your time to work with me right now. Maybe it's going to take more time for us to be in that place. And in which case, I'm cool with that. I don't have a problem with that. And maybe we'll never work together. Maybe we won't. But at least I will have sown seeds in your life. Aquia said, Dr. V is best at what she does. I love her. Thank you, boo. I just know this. I know that I'm called to a people to bring people to liberty, to give them liberation, to bring them to a freedom that they've not experienced before in their life. And to really break down the blocks that have stopped them. So this Sunday, I am launching my Flow coaching program, Kimberly said, I sure enough got a few breakthroughs. I love it. I love it. And in order to participate, if you're interested in knowing more about it, schedule your breakthrough strategy session so you can get in now at the beginning. Now it's a rolling enrollment, so you can get in at any time. But if you want to get in now, like, I need you to go ahead, schedule your session. Let's do your session, and let's do what we need to do. So that launches on Sunday. On Saturday, though, this is what you need to know. On Saturday, I'm launching my, we start this book coaching class, our Billionaire Boss book coaching program. And that launches on Saturday. Also, you know, in order to be a part of that, go through the strategy session or hit me up and let me know that you're interested. And I'll tell you what it is, what you get. I can actually send you the video from our class that we did so that you can see the value in what it is. This is what I'm going to tell you. You're going to get value when you work with me. Like, that's what I do, right? I'm not perfect, y'all. I tell you, I'm not perfect because y'all ain't sending no bars out, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I ain't sending no bars out. So if I promise you some bars, you going to get your bars, but I ain't sent them out yet. I ain't sent them, y'all. I'm just telling y'all, I ain't sent them. So if you look and run into the mailbox and trying to figure out if they get lost, they didn't get lost in the mail, Dr. V ain't sent them yet. But I got to go to the post office today. I hate going to the post office. Okay, I got to have somebody. That's why I got somebody that I'm going to start having do that for me so that they can go out, right? But schedule your strategy session. Let's see how we can work together. Let's do some things together. I'm excited about it. So I'm looking for someone. That someone may be you. But if it's not, it's okay. You know, it's all good. You can continue to follow me, continue to come here, get nuggets. Even here, you'll get breakthroughs if you just listen long enough, right? You'll get them. So know this, you guys. Know that I absolutely love you guys to life and life more abundant. Let's have an amazing and epic day. But be grown. Love you guys. Mwah.